We did a bunch of episodes about Frankie Tomatto's, a big Italian buffet in Toronto that shut down after 25 years because of the pandemic. They just decided that they weren't going to stick around because buffets, they're just not really a good idea during a pandemic. They had an event to celebrate their closure. They called it Frankie's Last Supper. So I went down there to check it out. The idea was you go there and you line up in your car and you'll get a free pizza. And they gave away about 1,000 pizzas. And for every pizza that they gave away, they donated $1 or something to the Easter Seals, which is a charity for kids, I think. I don't know, something didn't seem right about that. Because a business that's shutting down is obviously doing so because of financial reasons. So why would you want to go to a business that's already struggling and take free pizza from them? Like, how can you be proud of yourself for doing that? So anyway, I didn't wait in line for pizza, but I went down because I wanted to film this footage. I just gave a donation for the charity. I didn't take a pizza. And so I don't know, this was weird. It was just a whole weird thing, but it was, I guess, a publicity stunt, and they had overwhelming turnout of vultures coming to get free pizza. So I just decided that, after I filmed all of this, that I was going to go to this little donut shop called Tiny Tom's. It was about a block away, and they have one brick and mortar location. And I thought, gee, why don't I go support a business that's still in business, rather than, wait for them to go out of business and then rob them of money that they don't even have. So I went into Tiny Tom's and I thought, oh, okay, I'll get some donuts. Now, Tiny Tom's, like I said, they only have one brick and mortar location, but they're most famous for serving their donuts at the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition. It's a once-a-year event, happens in the summer. Obviously, it's not happening this year, but it's kind of like, I don't know, you Americans can think of your state fair. It's kind of like that. So I went and got the donuts, and then I decided to film myself eating the donuts and sort of reviewing them. So that's today's episode of Food Buffet Report. Not a buffet, something a little different, but still food. Got my Tiny Tom donuts right here, and I got two flavors. The first one that we're gonna try is the apple cinnamon. So what they do is they put the donuts in the bag, and then they dump some of the powdered flavoring in, and then they close the bag and they shake it up. So that's how they flavor the donuts. Let's give apple cinnamon a try. There they are. That's the size of them. They are very tiny. I guess that's why they call them Tiny Tom donuts. Not bad. I can definitely taste the apple. But it's more like a fake apple than a real apple flavor. They serve them hot, so it's best that you eat them right away. Let's try another one with a little bit more of the flavoring. Some of the donuts get more flavoring than others. See, this one has a lot of the sugar on it. It's got a lot of the flavoring on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really a big fan of the apple, because it tastes very like apple chemicals. Let's try the other flavor I got. This one's just icing sugar. And as you can see, they didn't really do a very good job of mixing the donuts with the sugar. So let's give it another shake. That's a little better, but not that great. Anyway, let's try to find one with a lot of sugar on it. There. That's the general idea. That's pretty good. I think the allure of these donuts is that they're warm and doughy and soft. I think the flavor is just you know, it's just an added bonus. If these weren't flavored at all, if they didn't have the sugar all over them, they'd probably be just as good, because the coatings are really sweet. Okay, this one has a lot. This one has a lot of sugar on it now. Tiny Tom's only has one location, brick and mortar location. The rest of them are mobile units, and I think they only have a couple. But where Tiny Tom's does most of their business is at the Canadian National Exhibition, which opens for 2 weeks in August every year. But due to the circumstances surrounding the pandemic, the X, as it's called here in Toronto, is not going to be opening this year. So Tiny Tom's won't be able to sell their donuts to the masses. When they say celebrate the tradition, I think the tradition that they speak of is the Canadian National Exhibition, because they're there every year, and that's the tradition. Well, it's no Frankie Tomatto's pizza, but happy to keep a business afloat that hasn't gone under yet. Tune in next week, where we go completely back to normal, and we'll be joining Donald Trump for a fast food buffet.